morning everyone, this is BremSter and today I'm going to be bringing you puzzle number 3 in the series of Dying Flutchman Features Doables, which is actually the fourth puzzle in the series because he started with number 0. But I'm going to mention that every time, I'm going to have to. But this is number 3, and this is a doubling lines and vault puzzles. Doubling lines and vaults are not normal constraints, but I have seen them a few times before, so this one should be a little bit interesting. Before I get into the puzzle, I do have a couple of things to mention though. The first one is this is the first puzzle I'm recording in April, so that means I now have the results of the people who submitted their answers to March of the Quads in March. So I'm going to do a name readout. Shouldn't be too long. A lot of people, quite a few. There wasn't as many entrants as I got to Save the Galaxy, but there were a lot more puzzles in the pack, and I think a lot of people were a bit resistant to submit just a few answers. Some people did, but I'm serious, guys. It's still running in April, and if I say guys, I'm serious too. If all solvers out there, yeah, if you are if you've solved some of the puzzles and you don't solve them, I'm taking answers up until the 20th of April for the April entrance. And if you have only solved like 2 or 3 puzzles, or even just one, please enter. And, I actually covered one of the puzzles from the pack last month. So, it's not hard to, to do it. But if you do that, you'll be in the running for, I'm pretty certain I'm going to have a prize this month. So, yeah, just feel free to submit whatever you've done. I'm not demanding that people have done all of the pack or anything. A lot of the people here have, but and those people blows my mind because some of these puzzles were brutally hard. But most of the ones, 30 of the 40 puzzles were, I would say 17 of them were approachable, but not, very easy. And 13 of them were kind of the normal difficulty I try and present it on my channel, where you would expect if I was to solve it on my channel, it would be sort of a 40-minute video, maybe a 50-minute video. And then there are some that would have easily taken me over an hour. But anyway, the people who successfully solved it, the first person I will mention, though not the first person to enter, is Madeline Dye, because Madeline Dye is the one who won last month. She has won a copy of the enthralling Sudoku book by Ashish Kumar, and I do need to say thank you to Ashish Kumar as well for, first of all, providing me with a huge amount of awesome puzzles every month for me to solve recreationally. You can get those by jumping to Ashish's Patreon page. I'll actually throw a link to that below if I remember. But congratulations, Madeline, for being the winner of the prize last month. Other people who successfully entered is Alaric Taki Arenza, Awesome Sauce, Andrew Monteleone, Mark Weisner, Mark Henkel, No Math Dork, Ian Randall, Jack Welsh, Brody Fourhorns, Mule Creek, and Christy Klingert. I think that was everyone who submitted entries last month as well. So congratulations to those people. If you do want your name to be if you have a special name that you want to be read out, please note that in the email that you send to me or something like that, because that I'm often trying to guess from what people have signed off their email as or anything, what they want their name to be read out as. So if you have something specific, please let me know. The other thing I wish to mention is that I'm often spending a fair bit of time trying to find puzzles that are appropriate for the channel. And it's actually taking more and more of my time to do so. A lot of the puzzles that people are sending me are either really, really hard, or aren't really appropriate for what I feel people are after. When I do incredibly difficult puzzles, the sort of thing that Simon on Cracking the Cryptic does, I get a fair bit of negative feedback. And at the moment, I just don't have time to try and cover puzzles like that because I fail at them too often. I'm nowhere near as good a solver as Simon. So I've often started recording, gotten 15 minutes in, have gotten nowhere, and I just have to dump that puzzle for now or put it onto a list and maybe try later. I don't have time. So I'm finding it very hard to find puzzles. If you encounter puzzles out in the wild that you think are about the difficulty that you see me cover, please send them to me. If you've got the details of who the setter of the puzzle is, if it's not one of yours, please include that as well, so I can reach out to them and try and get permission. I've got permission from a lot of different setters, so if it's one of the setters who's given me permission to cover their puzzles, I may just be able to do it. So please, if you encounter puzzles in the wild that you think would be appropriate, send them through to me, please. That will save me a lot of time, and you may see some of your favorite puzzles covered. It's a win-win for everyone. It definitely is a win for me. So apart from that, let's have a look at this puzzle number 3 in the Dying Flutchman Features Doables range. I have no idea on this puzzle, but you know, the other ones have been doable, so I'm hoping this one will be. And this is a doubling lines and vault puzzle. I've only ever done a few of puzzles using these rule sets, so here's hoping that I can wrap my head around it. So the rules in play on this one are normal Sudoku rules, of course. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We now have doubling lines, and that's these lines here. And what that means is any digit that appears on a doubling line must appear exactly twice on that line. So if you put a digit onto a doubling line, it must go again on that line once more time and only once more time. So each of these lines will have to be an even length. On these little 2-cell lines, that means, of course, that these effectively will be palindromes. But they don't have to be palindromes because the digit that goes here could easily go here. But it does have to go on this line twice. That's all we know. And then there is vault areas. And the way vaults work, and I've got this from reading the room, it's been ages since I've solved a puzzle with it in, is that any digit that you place in a vault cannot be placed orthogonally touching that vault in any place. So for example, if I was to put a 7 here, I cannot put a 7 in any of those cells, because a 7 in any of those cells would be orthogonally touching the vault, and therefore I cannot put a 7 inside the vault. That's how the vaults work. With that, this puzzle is apparently solvable. Let's give this a shot. So what can I tell? So looking at these doubling lines, I can tell that those 3 digits are the same as those 3 digits. So that digit is going to have to go in one of those 2 cells. That digit is going to have to go in one of those 2 cells. So those two digits are those 2. So this digit is exactly there. So those 2 are the same digit. Similarly, those 2... Hang on, is that right? Yeah. No, that is not right. That is not right. Pay more attention, BremSter. These 2 digits can go in... Actually, yeah, those 2 digits are exactly those 2. So that is that. That is right. So those 2 are the same. Those 2 digits are those 2 digits, so that digit goes there. That is correct. But can I do anything with that? This digit and this digit are the same. This digit and this digit are the same. I imagine there's going to be sort of a tricky single placement here. So that means in these vaults here, I cannot place the yellow digit. So where does yellow... So yellow in this... Okay, so yellow... Wait. So yellow has to be 3 because I cannot put... Ah, that's very tricky. You have to use the 2 rules. So these are the same digit because these 2 digits have to go here. They can't go... They have to go on the doubling line because these 3 digits are these 3 digits, because you have to put each digit twice on the doubling line. So I can't double the digits in here. There are 3 digits in this box. There are 3 digits outside that box. So these 3 digits are these 3 digits. These 2 digits can't go there, so they must go there. So that digit must go here. Now, yellow is touching this vault, so it can't go in the vault. Yellow is touching this vault, so it can't go in the vault. Yellow is in the same box as that one, so it can't go there. Yellow is in the same box as that one, so it can't go there. So all of these digits can't be yellow. So yellow is 3. That is cool. I assume I can do the same up here. Green can't go in the vault. Green can't go in the vault. Well, actually, I could do it easier. Green can't be in the same box there. Green has to be in this box, but it can't be in that vault. So these are 1. That is a cool opening. Does it actually give me anything more? 3 has to be in one of those 2 cells. 1 is in one of those 2 cells, which means it can't be in that cell. So 1 is in one of those 3 cells. Part of me is tempted to pencil mark 1, 2, 3. This is an 8 or a 9 because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that is an 8 or a 9. This here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, or 7. That's not as good. So what? So 5 is what I want to look at now in this column. Because 5 can't go in those. Because if 5 was in those, 5 would jump over to here and it can't go in those. So 5 is in one of those 2 cells. This is cross box pencil marking. Yeehaw. I'm not going to keep that, but I am going to note that 5 is in one of those 2. So what can these be? Is that what I need to look at? Or do I... This cell is actually... I was just looking at it saying, whatever is in this cell can't go in either of these vaults. No kidding. Because it's in the same row. Wow, these vaults are really messing with my head. If this is a 3, this would have to be a 3. Actually, this vault sees all of these cells. So whatever goes here is in one of those 2 cells. Is that what I need to be looking at? Like, I can tell that these need to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is 6, 7, or 9 because it can't be 8. And this is 7, 8, or 9 because it can't be 6. And that's just because of they're the 4 digits left in this box. I don't see... These 2 digits are these 2 digits, but I can't see... Whatever goes here can't go in either of these vaults. So this cell and this cell are the same. And the reason for that is whatever goes here has to go in one of those 2 cells, just by the doubling line. And therefore it can't go, by being in one of these 2, it can't go in this vault. It can't go here by being in the same, and it can't go in this. So these 2 are the same digit. And because it must be, but it must be in one of those 2. And the same I'm assuming is true here. This digit must appear in one of those, so it must, this digit and this digit are the same. But what can this be? It can be from the row, it can be 1, whoops, I'm in the wrong mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it can't be 1 or 9. So this is 2 or 8. Okay, that is more restricted than I thought. What about this one? From the row, it's 3, 4, 6, 7, but it can't be 3, 7 because of the column. So this is 4 or 6. And it can't be 4 because of the 4 there. So this is 6. There is a 6 in one of those. Okay. So this one's not as restricted because it doesn't see the central box. So there must be a 2 or an 8. If it's a 2, it's there. If it's an 8, it's in either of them. I am definitely missing something. So this is now a triple. There's no 6 here anymore. So this is 3, 4, 7. That one can't be 4. So there is a 4 in one of those two. So there's no 4 up here anymore. Because in order for there to be a 4 here, there'd need to be a 4 on the line. So 4 in this box is in one of those cells. Well, it's actually in one of those two cells. If it's here, it could go here and therefore not interact with the vault. I'm missing something with these vaults. I really am. I am missing something, I imagine, fundamental with these vaults. So, what? That's it. In this row, it's the same up here. In this row, 1 is in one of those two cells, which if I put a 1 here, I put a 1 here and I've broken the vault. 1 must go here. And it's the same with 3 up here. 3 is in one of those two cells, either of which touch this vault. So I can't put 3, if I put 3 here, that forces 3 here and I've broken the vault. So I cannot put 3 into the vault. That must be 3. That is 7, that is 4. That is very clever. Now this is now 2, 8 or 9 and it's not 2. That gives me an 8, 9 pair. This becomes the 2. This becomes the 2. I knew I was missing a vault trick. Now I have to put a 2 up here and it can't be that one. That's a 2. This is very well designed. Now, I can't put a 1, a 2, a 3 or a 5 into this. But that still leaves me with lots of options. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. This is a 7, 8 or 9. I need to get 3 numbers in here, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 8 numbers. So I can only have 6 different numbers on the outside of this. 1, 2, and I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once if you get 6 numbers outside of a vault, you've got to have at least 2 repeats outside of a vault, a 3 long vault. Ah, 4 in, wow, yeah, so this is not a 6, so this is not a 6 because of the 6 in the box. But things like 4 in this column are going to be interesting because I can't put 4 in those cells. There's going to be a lot to think about here. So is it, what can these be? They can't be 1. They can't, because this is the same digit, because the 3 and the 2 are already doubled. So can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't be 5. Can be 6. Can't be 7. So 6, 8, and 9. And I need to put a 6 up here. Now, 7 in here. No, that's not it. 5 is in here. 2, no, that's not it either. Wait a minute, 2 is in one of those two, but 2 can't go in this vault because there's 2s looking into those. So 2 is in one of those, but I can't put 2 in the vault. That's a 2. So this is a quadruple, which I am more than happy to mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Now this is not a 5, so this is a 7, 8, 9. So this is going to be... This cannot be 5, 7, or 9 because I'd have to put it there. So this is not 5, 7, or 9. Wait, did I just do what I think I did? Yeah, these are 5, 7, 8, 9, and this one can't be 5, 7, or 9. This is the 8. So this is a 6, 8 pair. And that means this is a 9 and this is a 6. So this is now a 6. This is an 8. There is no 8 in any of those. That's not a 9. So this is 5 or 7. That's not a 9. And it's not an 8 either because there's an 8 touching the vault. That's a 7. Can't put a 1 in the vault, but I need to put a 1 in this box. This is the 1. So these are now 4 and 9. And there is no 4 or 9 in any of those. So that works. This 7 makes both of those 9, which makes that the 4 and that the 9. This is very clever. 1, 5, and 8. This is not 1 or 5. That's the 8, which means I cannot put 8 touching the vault. So those stop being 8. And because there's a 9 there, those actually become 7. Okay, it took me a while to wrap my head around how to start this, but I think I'm definitely having fun with it. So I cannot put... I need to put an 8 in this box, and I cannot have it touch the vault, or I break that vault rule. That's the 8. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 9. Now, this is 5 or 7, and I cannot put a 5 there, or I break the vault. That's 5, and I've broken the puzzle. No, it's not 5, 7. I've got a 7 here. So that I had that resolved. So I haven't broken the puzzle. I just wasn't paying enough attention to Sudoku. That 7 makes that a 9, which means there's no 9 there. The 7 here makes this a 5 and this a 7. So what do I have here? Six. This is a triple. I'm going to put the triple in and see what I find. So 1, 2, no, 2, 3, and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 2, 3, and 4 without that one being 4, without that one being 3, without that one being 2. So there is a 2 in there. I can't put a 3 in the vault. That's 2. That's 4. That's 3. Now, no, that's complete and utter nonsense. I wasn't paying enough attention to what I was doing. But these are now known. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. Okay, so these are 6 and 8, which is known. That is the 8 and that is the 6. Now, there is no 3 or 7 touching that. There is no 2, 4. Yeah, that's not broken in any way that I can see. So I think I want to look at this now because I need to put 3, 6, 7, and 8 in here. Well, I can't put 8 in the vault. I can't put 6 there, so I have to put 6 in the vault. Can't put 3 or 7 there. This is a 6. So, okay, that was nice and simple. So that's now an 8 because of the 3, 7 pair. Can I do more with that? Probably. It's probable that someone could do more with that. The question is, can I do more with that? So what is this? 2, 6, 8, 9. So there's no 2 there. There's no 8 or 9. That's a 2. So I can take the 2 out of there. I can take the 6, 8 out of there. That becomes a 9. There is no 9 there. Now I've got a 6, 8 here. That 6 is touching that vault. So that becomes the 8. That becomes the 6. That becomes the 8. I don't think I missed the same thing here. Anyway, this is a triple. 1, 3, 6. So that's a 3. That's a 1 and that's a 6. This is 4, 5, and 7. So that's the 7. I think that's right. So that now is a 3. So that's a 7 and that's a 3. 4, 5, and 7 along here. That can't be 7. So that's the 7. 1 and 9. So that's 9 and that's 1. 2, 4, 5. So that's not 2. So that is 2. And it's that. I cannot put a 5 there or I break the vault. That's a 4. That's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 5. That's a 4. And that's a 5. And that is Doubling Lines and Vaults by Dying Flutchman. I think I've got all of that correct. Because I don't have the correct solution put into the grid. So I'm just quickly looking. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So as I said before, I tried to solve. Now, first of all, thank you, Dying Flutchman, for giving me permission to do these puzzles. I've really been enjoying them, and I'm probably going to try and do one every 7 to 10 days is probably the way I'm planning on doing it. It'll take me a couple of months to work through them. But when I've been looking for puzzles for my channel, which is what I said at the start of the video, I'm looking for things. I don't mind things that are sort of interesting rules. But what I want is I just don't want something that is just overwhelming. And these were sort of a clever interaction. Yeah, but if I'm... Like, I've been sent a few chaos construction puzzles recently where it was just... yeah, it was just too much struggle for trying to figure out what was what and then just hunting through. And one of the videos, I think I came close to... I did complete it, but it was a 2 hour, 15-minute video. I was never going to release it. I'm sorry. Just, I don't think my channel is calling for that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know, but if people come up for ideas from having seen what I do and thinking that you might have something that is appropriate, please send it through. I'd love to have a look. And if you want to chat to me about what you think I'm looking for, please jump onto the Sudoku Solvers Discord, into the BremSter discussion channel, and talk to me about it. I'm happy to talk about what I think we need to do, because everyone seems to be going overly complex at the moment and throwing all of their clever tricks into one puzzle rather than spreading their tricks over multiple puzzles and letting people explore. I try not to do things that way. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you again to Dying Flutchman for permission to do the puzzle. And as always, to everyone, good luck with your solving.